welcome to part 2 of our little album here, or little record album. Okay, mine's going to be Christmas themed, but like it said in the previous video, you don't have to. You can make it anything you would like. Okay, so we should all have covers done. It should have sat and dried, and if your albums decide they want to not lay down and they're like sticking up a little bit, you can, put a binder clip on it or something, or any kind of clip, and then let that dry like that, or sit for a little while, and then it should lay down. But if you have the bigger gaps, it should be laying pretty good. Okay, so we've got that. So let's work on our pages. Now the pages are all the same, so I'm going to do one page, and all my other pages I have done. So first off, we're going to need a circle. Okay, we're going to need a 5 3/8 circle. Now, if you don't have like a Cricut or a Cameo or a Scan and Cut or whatever cutting machine, and can put 5 3/8 in there and cut yourself a circle. And then my center circle is like a 1/4 inch. You can get a bowl, a roll of tape, anything round, a dinner plate. I'm sure you've got something that's close. It doesn't have to be exact. As long as it fits in your sleeve, you're good to go. So, but I wouldn't go any bigger than 5 3/8. So you need a 5 3/8 inch circle. And I'm doubling mine, so you'll need 2 of those. 4 if you're singling it, or 8 if you're doubling it. And I did mine in black. So I have mine done. And I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm going to show you a couple tricks here. So I've got mine cut out. I've double thicked mine up. I glued it and put it together. The easiest way I found to get them to go together nicely is when they're apart. Now let me find some here that I had that were too big and I didn't like the way they were cut. But if you take your singles and you're thickening them up to make doubles, I put mine on a pencil like that, and then I'll put my glue on, and then I'll take this one and put it right on top of that, push it down, and it'll line it up for you. Okay, so don't try to glue it and then trying to mash them holes all up and everything. You'll drive yourself crazy. Just get your pencil, put that on there like that, glue it, put that one on, and then just kind of mush it around, and then it'll be pretty much good for you. Okay. So we'll have one of those. Mine's double thick, and that is 5 3/8. Then you'll need a circle. You can go 2 inches, and I have mine at 2 3/4. If you have, a paper punch or a die cut, even if you have die cuts for these, you can die cut them. And I have 4 red and 4 green. You just need 8 total of whatever color you would like. Now let's say you have a paper punch, but you don't have anything that'll fit in here. You don't have the long, whatever it's called, crocodile, the chomper thing, the one that has the long arm that makes a punch. Don't worry about that. Let's just say it's a solid one. I thought I had a solid one here somewhere. Well, anyhow, I'm missing mine. I have a 2-inch hole punch somewhere, a 2-inch punch, and I don't know what I did with it. I have things like in order over here for stuff, and I'm losing it. But anyhow, if you just have, a circle, and you don't have the hole punched out, and it's just, red, pretend it's just all red, and you don't have anything, put it center to your little record there, and then get yourself just a regular hole punch and a piece of cardstock that matches your record if you're doing black. I'll give it like a scrap piece. Just punch a little hole, and then just place that right over top of that red, and that'll give you your black hole too. Okay, so there's that. Alright, so I've got that one done. Now all I've got to do is glue these on. And I'm telling you guys, I have just got everything everywhere right now. So trying to find things. Whoop. I just that. And then if you want to do the same trick with it, you know, putting the pencil there and then doing that, you can, to get it centered. Just while I was doing this sound, amongst other things, I was trying to get dinner going, and I got the oven on, and it's not that warm outside, but boy is it warm in here. And then you can, you know, burnish those down and make sure they're stuck. Okay, so you should have 4 when you get them all done. Okay, get a bowl now and cut it out, or there's probably circle templates online. If you look up circle template, you can take it into Microsoft Word and resize it, print it out, and cut it. There's all kinds of ways. So we have our 4 circle, or 4 records. Now we need to have the pages. So our pages, I've got 3 of mine done, and I'm going to show you how make them by hand. Now I cut these ones on my Cricut, and all I did was transfer the dimensions from when I cut it by hand into my Cricut, and then I cut them. You don't have to do that. I'm going to show you how we can hand cut them. So there, you've got those 2. These are going to make up our pages. Now, on this one, this one's not hard to do, so we'll set that aside. This one's a little more oofy. So, you may want to make yourself a template and cut it out. And it's really easy to do. So, find my ruler here. Okay, with that, find my glasses here on the inch side. So you need to be 5.5 inches this way, 6 inches this way. So on your 5.5 inch side, if you go in and you measure 5/8 of an inch at the top, I'm trying not to get my head in y'all's way, and go up to 5/8, make a tip mark, and do the same thing on the other side. Measure in 5/8 and make yourself a tick mark. Now this is why I suggest that you make your record first, because you can use your record now as a template. You take the record and you match it up in between those tick marks from the top. And then mine's down a little bit, so, but you do that and that, and just line them up so that your edges, the edge of that meets that. And you take your pencil and you just trace around it, and you get your scissors, which I found my bigger ones that I was looking for, and you cut it out. And if you hear any background noises, my father-in-law is making his dinner. He is on hospice. He has a mass on his throat, and it's non-cancerous, but he doesn't want to do surgery, so he's just dealing with it. But he can only eat really soft foods, and so he doesn't eat what we eat a lot of times. Okay, so you just cut that out. So you'll have that. And then you can erase your pencil marks. Or I would make this like my template here, and then I could trace it onto my cardstock. Okay, so you have that. Then you have your other one that is 6.5 by 6. I'm just going to get your scoreboard out, and on the 6.5 inch side, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch. Now I like to score over here on this side, because when I try to do it over here, I'm always slipping and missing. And that's all there is to that. And you're just going to fold this in. Burnish it down. And then this one will now glue to that, and you'll have your pocket. Okay, so I'm gonna, so you have your pocket there, and then all I do is just glue mine, if I can find my glue again. Boy, today is just not my day. It's getting towards evening and starting to get tired. And I usually just glue like one side and match everything up. And like I said, if you want to take these measurements into your Cricut and cut them out, this is what I did. Even that 6 by 6.5, I just cut it out and then I came back and I scored it. I didn't even put the score lines in Cricut on it. So you don't have to get all fancy. Get a little more glue on that there. And then try to match that up a little bit better. Alright, so we have that. That's all you do. And you make 4 of those. 4 pockets. And you don't glue the bottom. Make sure you leave your bottom open. Then for your designer series paper, which is very easy, you're going to get, see, I went ahead and cut mine already, and I shouldn't have, so I could show you. Let's see, let me just grab this one here. I think this one, I did, yeah, here's the one. That's why, because I had this as my template, or had this for this. But anyhow, so you're at 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 by 5 3/4, okay? But on your designers, yeah, you're going to cut this at 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure in just like we did on that one. We're going to measure in a 1/2 inch on your 5 1/2 inch side. And just get your ruler and measure in a 1/2 inch. Measure in a 1/2 inch. Get your record, or if you made one like a template, you can do that and do the same identical thing. Just line that up with your edge of your record to the edge of your pencil mark. Draw you. Trace that. And we're going to cut that out. And when you're cutting curves, if you turn your paper rather than your scissors, it'll cut a lot smoother for you. I'll just hold my scissors still and turn my paper. And then if you're on the front of yours and you have pencil marks, you can erase those. Like so, and then we'll get this out. And it'll lay in there about like that. You might want to make it a little bit wider, but you know, it works. And that would be your designer series paper. And then on the back, it's just this without the cutout. You cut 2 of these and then notch one and not the other. Okay, so I have, so you'll need 4 of these and 4 of these. And then I'm gonna go ahead and glue mine. To my front. And then this is my back. And if you want to ink your edges, you can do that. And if you want to make it a little more rustic looking, you can ink edges. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. Let's see. Got a black plaid, and I don't want plaid, so let's go there. And then I can do that and that. Okay, that looks good to me. I like that. Now you're going to get your album out. Move everything aside. Now, like I said, usually I'll put double-sided tape. If you are, you're just going to run like a 1/4 inch piece of tape down and keep it up to as close to the top as you can up here. Don't go all the way down. You only want like a 1/4 inch piece. I mean, this is how much tape I have left on this roll. So I'll try to show you. So you're going to try to stay up as close as you can to that top. So you want to leave yourself a good sized gap between the score line there and your tag, in your fin there, your tab for your page. But once I'm out of double-sided tape, I'm gonna glue mine. So I just kind of squeeze them a little bit like that, kind of get them to open up, and then I sit it on top, and it's still snug. And I even took a 1/16 of an inch off. But if it's a little snug, don't fret. Do not fret. Get your book. Put your tab, your fin there to hold your page. Take your scissors and angle them onto your book. You do not want to cut down into that line there. You want to stay above it. But you can not cut off a little bit on each end to get it to slide on. And she might be snug, and if she's a little loose, you're just going to have to decide if you want it to go up or down. Mine's still a little tight, so I'm going to try to come in here and knock that down just a little bit more. That's better. So this is my left side of my album, so that's my album front. I'm going to put this on here like so. Yeah, that fits good. Fits good. Now I accidentally, if you've got designer paper that has a direction, you might want to pay attention to that. I just put it on there. I wasn't paying attention. So same thing with this glue. You don't want to go all the way down there because you don't want it oozing out all over. So I just put a real fine line of glue along the top, same as I would my tape. I'm just going to slide that on there. Now, don't put it down there and push this closed or push that shut while it's sticking straight up. If you do, your book's going to stand straight up. It'll never lay down your pages. So you can push it all the way down, but don't push your tape or your glue yet. Just take it. I put my finger on the outside edge and I push in and I lay it down. And make sure that I'm straight, which is pretty good. And then I come in and I you know, burnish it down. You see, I've got a little bit of glue oozing, and that's okay. It's not bad. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to push it the other way. And you might be off on one side, not the other. It's totally fine. It'll work out. It's a little off on this side. There. Which meant my spine probably wasn't in as straight as it needed to be. So we'll do the next one together. I should have fitted that first before I put that glue on there. Yep, because I have to trim them corners. You know, I'm just going to do all of them because they're all the same. So down, just bending them, tab down. I'm sorry if my head's in y'all's way. I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to keep my head back, but keep y'all in frame and be able to reach. I'm short and I have short arms. And if your page is off a little bit, you know, it's homemade. Come on now. You know, it wasn't made by a machine or factory made, so I'm missing a little glue on that corner. So I'm just doing that old trick of putting a little glue on a piece of paper and tucking it up under there. Put a little glue on it. Okay, now we can go on to the next one. Okay, so that's that. We've got our pages are in. So you've got 4 pages, and now you can put your little records in there. Now, if you don't like this being white, and you want to maybe, let's see here if I have something, you want to, you know, because you wouldn't even have to go all the way down, just, you know, go part way. And then you could do that and put designer paper in there like that if you want to. So now if you want to put your designer paper, which I probably might do here off camera, and put just a little bit down in there and leave yourself just a little border, and then you can do that, because you only need a piece that's probably about maybe 2.5 inches long. Okay, so if you want to do that, you can already do that and do it off camera. And then I will come back with part 3, and we will work on decorating the inside of the inside of our covers here, and work on putting, you know, decorations and folders and things. But I think that's plenty long enough for you to do and get your pages together, and I will see you in part 3.